Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Marlene Hale, and I am from the Wet'suwet'en Nation. Say hati, hello, bonjour. Marlene Hale Saizozi. My name is Marlene Hale. Je m'appelle Marlene Hale. Sai Wet'suwet'en hot hosit. I am Wet'suwet'en. Je suis Wet'suwet'en. Lexilio hot hazid. I am Lixiliu, which is the small frog clan, which is you see on my hat. Je suis Lixiliu clan de petite grenouille. Sai Quinbiech Quid Hasley. I belong to the Quinbiech, which is the house beside the fire. Je m'appartiens à maison près de feu. Now it is Buzi Wadigwats. Our house chief's name is Wadigwats. Le nom du chef héréditaire de notre maison, c'est Wadigwats. Tabi Masai. Newadizny. I wish to thank you for listening. Merci beaucoup pour votre appui et de m'avoir écoute. Saiwe Hebedini Albertisna. Please share this to the world. We are telling the truth. Partagez notre histoire avec le monde, c'est vérité. I know that most of you have understood that since January the 7th of this year, how my nation, the Wet'suwet'en and the Unistoten people's lives have just turned over on a dime. My life has not been the same. I would not be expected of a month ago standing up and talking to most of the nation today, of knowing all what's transpiring with our people. Tonight I want to bring you some different stories of a lot of things that is in our territory. We have a history book, and that history book dates way back in the 1800s. The Wet'suwet'en Nation is on like 22,000 acres of land that we're fighting today to have the pipelines not exist at all. Most of these people, generations and generations back. I want to tell you about a lady here. Her name is Rose Verrigan, and her First Nation's name is Guhet, her chief's name. She was 95 when she passed on, and in our history book, they always said, this is just a page of it. They always talk about what the elders say. And one of this page really struck me was when they talked about her dad's dad, when he had that land, how he first in the 1800s had the white settlers come in, and how he allowed them to come in and hunt. And when they did, they just respected the land. They would tie up their dogs, and they were allowed to never to take more than what they needed. And it's what the rightful way when you're doing you're sustaining on the land. You're using everything on it, and everything to us is still today is what it was in her day. It's still medicine. Medicine is what you pick on different seasons. Her teas are what we call Ladi Mesquite today. Ladi Mesquite was picked at. What we call Labrador tea here, there it's Hudson Bay tea. And that tea is picked in that region in early September. Many other things that grow there are picked at different areas of the time, and also now today they still do. I saw pictures about 2 days ago of two young men who were still using the trap line system, and they got a marten. And they showed the elders how they took this marten and were skinning it and doing exactly the way the elders had taught them, and the way she would have done this many hundreds of years ago, people before her. We all know what happened on January the 7th. We know the RCMP situation, that when they went into the territories, and I'm from Smithers, BC. I was born there, and it's exactly where Unistoten is going. There's two towns. There's Smithers, BC, and there's Houston. Houston, when you drive above it, is when you go up to drive up on the road to Morris Road up to Unistoten. My sister was phoning me on the 7th of January, and she was really concerned because from her house, she could see the hotel across the street. She said, I don't know what's going on here. She said, there is so many police. These are not police. These are RCMP. These people, they don't have just guns. These are like assault rifles. They're not just like there for... There's only 14 people up there. Why did they need this whole 2 towns filled of RCMP to go up there and do all of this? The first thing I'd mention, I hope that the children and the elders, which were there 2 days before, were out of there. They were. We all know what happened on the 8th. Molly Wickham, 14 other people were arrested in Gidim Dam, which leads the way onto the Unistoten territory. Many people that I have met in Montreal here have been up there. They love the land, they love the people, and you are all still all welcome to go up there. God forbid the RCMP allows you to go through. It is just what it is, Unistoten. Frida Houston, we know her name. We know Molly Wickham. Frida was just one person in her clan. I'm from the Lexilia clan. I'm one of the 5 clans. And she was just one of the 5 clans that just wanted to go and live on the land. What was wrong with that? They opened up what you call the Unistoten camp. The camp is it's so gorgeous. My sister was showing me videos of it. It's not heated by hydro. It's all solar powered heat. What happened was a businessman came from Houston, BC. He just drove up there. He said, I want to give you guys solar heat. And they now have hot water. They've got the best power ever. And this is where all that transpired. It has the healing center. It has so many things for the people. In the summertime, the youth go there and they have what you call a culture camp. The culture camp, the elders go in, they fish, hunt, and they just tell stories at night around the campfire, and this is where the kids are learning their culture, their language. They're with their elders, they're with their land, they're giving back, they're taking out, but they understand from the ground roots up what this lady did 95 years ago. Rose Verrigan always talks about her territory where she was very knowledgeable in her teas. One day I said to her, I said, "What? This man came quite a ways to talk to you about your tea. I was surprised that you kind of let him go." And she said to this young man, "I heard that you are very knowledgeable in your medicines and also your herbs and where to pick them, when to pick them." And she said, "Yes, but I can't tell you and share it with you because I share it only with my own family." She said, "If I let you come into our territory, you'll bring many people with you. You'll leave your garbage. You won't respect what's there. I only take what I need from my family." And I was shocked that she did that. I now understand why she did that. It was sacred to her. But you know what is territory? What we have, you buy a lot in the city and you paid for it, that's your lot. With her, it was the territory, it was her territory. It was her grandparents, my uncles, my aunts, my great aunts, they have all trapped up there. When they trapped, we all knew what the skins were all about. They had medicine from it. When I was a child, I don't ever recall being sick. That was because Mom knew how to take everything from the trees, all the plantation that was growing around there. That's what we drank, and we never got sick. We were never sick. We didn't know what pneumonia was. In her lifetime, she's never had cancer. She doesn't know what that was all about, only until our generation came. This lady was 95 years old, told a lot of stories in the history that we all carry on, and she's my mother. She's a big part, the whole part of the history book, the history that lies behind. If we allowed that pipeline to go, where is that going to take us? That's going to totally rewrite that book horribly. For what they have protected, they've gifted us with it. We are just going to have it destroy on this. It cannot be. Frida Houston is the most wonderful, incredible person that I give her the most credit for, her and Molly Wickham, for standing up and truly what they believe in. Standing up to RCMP, 4 feet taller than them, and just singing and just allowing them to scream at them in their face and saying, no, it's not going to happen. Arrest me if you have to. I will just sing and be peaceful here. Do what you have to. Arrest me. And they're still doing that as of yesterday. I had a 2-hour-long conversation for the first time with Frida, and she was just saying it's just no different. They taunt us. They want the key to the gate. I said, just arrest me, but you will not get the key. This is not a border. This is just a gate. And the gate is just for our protection. And it's just to keep everything out because we just need to have our protection like you have when you walk into your front door at your house. I don't ask you to get the key to my gate. And she gets this still daily, on a daily basis up there. When they did plow all the trapped territory, it was the most hurtful scene for me to see. All of that gone over. They did not do many assessments that they should have done. They were supposed to do an environmental assessment. They did not do that. There was supposed to be an archaeological assessment that was not done. There's so many things that little by little, day by day, they're just trying to iron out, strategize with the OW, the Office of the Wet'suwet'en Chiefs, the hereditary chiefs. What they are doing, there's three different scenes in this. We have the Gidim Dam, the 14 people who were arrested on one side. The OW, which is the Office of the Wet'suwet'en, which is the hereditary chiefs with the biggest lawyer dealing with rights and titles. Frida Houston is, on the other hand, she's dealing with the biggest issue. It's the pipelines. So the lawyers have finally strategized, worked together on who is doing what. We get all the reports out that we have. The things that have transpired now with the the items that they found on the archaeological sites, unfortunately were stolen. It was the most hurtful thing for us to listen to. But it's the fight that they're giving us, like, trust me with it, it's going to be in the ministry's office. It's going to be here, it's going to be stable. To find out that it's not, was really hurtful. The most people that you thought you would trust it. You cannot go to the RCMP because they're not with us. They say they are, but they're not. And so who do you trust and whatnot? It's just, we just got to have some faith in someone that's going to come up from above and say, okay, enough is enough. Last weekend I was in Ottawa, and I was at this conference done by kids your age, and that conference you were at, and what is it?
Power Shift Young and Rising.
The Power Shift Young and Rising was, the 3 days that I was there was one of the best I have listened to. It was very well organized. It was kids your age who are just saying that they have just had it. I was just so happy to see the work that they're doing on the climate and everything else and above. With the Indigenous elders opening this up, I was listening to they call them the Kukum Circle. The Kukum Circle was 7 elders who opened up this 3-day conference, and they all had the same stories that we do in our region. Everybody is dealing with the same thing, the coal mines, the pipelines. We're just in a different province. We have the same issues. They have been arrested, they've been elders, they've been displaced. They're not taking it anymore. One lady really took to my heart when she told the story. She said, yeah, they came to my territory and the cop put the handcuffs behind me, but she said he doesn't understand that on our land we use everything, every animal. We use it for food, we use it for medicine, even the skunk we will use. One time I had the skunk, just when this cop happened to come. I have skunk oil and it's very powerful for me, it's good medicine. When he arrested me, I had some of it in a little bag, in a little plastic bag. He put the handcuffs behind me, I put it in his vest. They arrested some of the other elders, and when they put him in the paddy wagon, she said, he passed her, and she had one more, and she put it in his vest. And when they got in, she said all the elders, they made sure they were sitting on the outside, they were breathing the air, it was going to be a long ride. And she looked at the cop and she said, you stink. And he said, what did you do? She said, I have powers. You don't know, but you dealt with a powerful woman. This is what she did, and it was a 4-hour drive. I loved her soul, I loved her energy, I loved everything about her. Today, given what she has, she's in her 80s, she still lives in the bush. She still does everything else. She will remain there. They're not going to give up. Frida Houston's not going to give up. Molly Wickham's not going to give up. They have fought hard to go this way. The lawyers told them 2 days ago that they have a very good fighting chance. And I said, you know what we do? And I said, he just said, don't give up. I said, well, of course, we're not going to give up now. On February the 2nd, I did a fundraising myself at the West Park United Church. Some of the entertainment that you have that you can listen to tonight, they were at my event. And I didn't see the singing part of it because my part, I'm a chef. I'm in the kitchen cooking stew meat, moose stew, and sole bannock. In the kitchen alone, I made $800. I made $6,000 all night. Thank you. And only just 2 days ago, I kept asking the lady who gave us the church I needed to find out that she was my only expense that I had, and I thought I would have owed her about $900. We finally had this conversation, and it really, really touched me when she said to me, you know, I went to your event, I listened to the speakers, I listened to you speak. The First Nations people have had it really rough in all the churches, from the Catholic Church up. All your lives, you have struggled from one thing to the other. I had a meeting, she said, with the committee and also with the priest, and she said, we can't take your money. You're trying to raise a lot of money for a biggest struggle of your life. So that they gave it to me rent-free. It was $900. So that meant I made a clear $6,000. And out of that, I've only got t-shirts that were, I think, $720. I've got to pay out of that. The rest is what it was. I would not do anything unless it was pro bono. And I think this is the reason you are all here tonight. You are all have it in your soul to know what not just the First Nations, but our whole world is going to go if we let these things, other than changing our fossil fuels. We need to do the 100% energy efficient and get at. I spoke with the Prime Minister, and I hunted them down. It was friends of mine that drove me there. I talked to him in St. Hyacinthe, Quebec, and I asked him many questions. The first one was, of course, with the RCMP. The second one was the questions on, for him to understand what it was for the hereditary chiefs versus who he thought should be, that he was listening to, which was not the hereditary chief. He still doesn't get that part right. And the other thing was, when he did admit to me, he did have a lot of respect for me. It was one of the toughest audiences that I had asked, because in the audiences were 30 yellow vests. I didn't know what they were about, and I soon found out that he spoke to them, then spoke to me, and they showed respect and did not heckle me, which I was very appreciative to. That was the very thing that I was worried about, because a lot of other people in the audience that did speak were given a really bad time after they spoke. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau did give me the ounce of listening to me. The only things he didn't get right was he thought I came all the way from Wet'suwet'en to St. Hyacinthe to see him. I said, no, j'habite à Montréal. It's like, and he was shocked when I said, my name is Marlene Hale'S and I'm from the Wet'suwet'en Nation. He was like, whoa. And it did wake up a lot of people, and the people today still don't know. I just don't understand. I said to an elder just not long ago, I'm very shocked at many people today who still live under a rock, who just don't understand what is going on in the world. Some people went to Las Vegas the other day to snow. Other people went to Hawaii. They went to snow. They're like, wow, this weather's crazy, and it's like, wow, when are they going to get it? This is our real. I spoke to an elders group and a little young kid, 6 years old, 2 weeks ago. The elders are really pushing their message out. They were saying to me, they danced, they're in Ganawagi. They wanted people to sign petitions. Nobody would sign, nobody would listen. But they still danced, they still spoke. They would not give up. I said, they will hear it one day. Don't give up. When you go home tomorrow, each and every one of you know that it's your generation. Every one of you put 12 years on your age. If you're 30, you're going to be 42 in 12 years. That is when, if we don't do something, we're going to be 1 degree warmer. How are we going to handle that? I pray for each and every one of you that we get it right. And it's your generation. Greta in Europe, the 12-year-old girl, God love her. And many kids who are now, what did we hear? They're going to go on a national strike. And it's all about the climate change. What date?
March 15th.
March 15th, the student strike. That is going to be one day that the whole world is going to wake up, because finally their voice is going to be heard. They did it loud and clear in Ottawa. I was so proud of them. The organization they did, I was just overwhelmed. In 3 different venues, many speakers from all over. And everybody had the same message, no matter what it was. We have to wake up. We have to stop living under a rock. We have to realize what is going on. What are we going to do tonight? I feel really guilty because I have to go back to the West Island in a car. I used to do it by bus, but it's hard in the winter for me, and I've got to take a car, buy a car. For this lady who has built all of what she has for us, and I feel really guilty of what we're doing it for her. We're not doing the right thing is what she wanted to try to pass down to us. The forefathers and the grandmothers, as they say, Father Sky, Mother Earth, we really apologize. We did not do what we should have done. We did not do our job right. Thank you very much for listening, and enjoy the rest of the night. And I'd also like to thank the Mohawk for allowing me to speak on their territory. Masai.